Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for being here. Just gone 2 o'clock in the UK and the sun is shining. Should have brought a different outfit really, shouldn't I? I'm all autumned up because we did our autumn craft special a little bit earlier on, which you can go back and watch. So, you know, we got the autumnal theme going. I'm now sweltering in my autumn/winter jumper, but it's fine, it's fine. We're here for the next hour with a craft along. I've not been involved in one of these for a while, so quite exciting actually. And it is with your embellishment dies, Christmas embellishment dies. As with all craft alongs, obviously we'll be concentrating on the project. So if you've got the kit, which we'll go through with Sheila in just a second, you can get it out and craft along. If you've got it but you haven't got time, you can come back to this show at a later date and of course craft along then. And if you haven't got the kit but you like the look of the project, if you shop the website, you'll be able to see all of the relevant dies available for you individually. So you can jump in and grab the ones that Sheila uses over the course of the show. We are live and interactive, of course, so it'd be great if you could just drop us a little message, say hello, let us know where you're watching from, let us know if you enjoyed the show earlier, let us know if you're thinking about doing this craft along, all that kind of stuff, please. We need the information, and Jan will keep us right as far as that is concerned. But the lady leading the craft along is the other side of the studio, and it is the one and only, I'm getting it chanted in my ear, Sheila, Sheila, Sheila. It's Sheila Halliwell. Do you enjoy the chanting that you get from producer George?
Yeah, it's a bit weird because we were just talking about this, saying that George he seems like a fairly quiet producer when he comes in and says, yeah. Hello, are you all right? And what have we got planned? And can we go through everything? And then when I'm on a show, he starts chanting like a football hooligan, you know. Which is quite funny. It's a bit like the Jekyll and Hyde thing, but yeah, it's quite, yeah, I know, that's it now, that's it. He'll just keep doing it forever, so.
You love it though, don't you, mate? You wouldn't have him any other way.
Yeah, it's funny.
What are we going to be making over the course of the show then?
Right, so we're doing something a little bit more simple today. Even though we're using 4 of the 6 of the sets of the embellishment dies, we're taking little snippets from 4 of the sets, and I'll tell you which ones we're using, obviously, as we go through the list and things. So we're just going to be making this, it's really simple, no sentiment on it or anything, just a little wreath made up. We're just using like kind of minimal bits, if you like, just to do something simple, and yeah, that's what we're going to be doing.
Do you want to take us through then what we're going to be needing?
Yes, I will tell you, and I do think I forgot one thing, so but that's fine because I'm sure most of you got it anyway, so we can tell you about that. So we're going to start off with the Christmas embellishment dies. You will need, if you've got these, you will need the mistletoe set, the baubles, the bows, and the presents, and we're only like taking certain bits from each of those. So you'll also need, or I have used, so you will need the Harmony opaque pigment ink in the pine tree, which is a bit more like an olive yeah. colour. I'm using the Spectrum Noir white opaque pen. Now I know not everyone will have that because that came as a specialist set, didn't it? Originally, didn't it come as, yes, Academy of Colour, that was the one, yes. So, but if you've got a white gel pen or white pencil, you can use that. It's only for doing little berries on the mistletoe. Yeah. And then I'm going to be using the watercolour paint palette and also 1 or 2 gems from the gem box. So that's what you'll need. Additional items I'm going to be using, obviously the Gemini Mini for these because they're little dies, so it works perfectly. I've used guillotine, scissors, some tacky glue. Tacky glue might be good if you've got the fine tip applicator bottle because they're very small dies. Yeah. Some of the bits we're going to be gluing together. I've used some of the A5 special finish cardstock, which is a glitter and foil, which if you bought it during the Christmas launch was the one with the reds in, because we had a green and a gold, and then we also had the glitter and foil, and that's the red kit that's got the gold in there. And we've also used some watercolour cardstock, 6x6 white card blanks, and the thing I forgot to put on is the linen card. Now if you've bought any of our linen cards, it's likely that you've got some green sheets, because we tend to put a lot of green in the collections because yeah. everything seems to need some green. So just use any of your green linen cardstocks that you have got from us, and we'll mix them up and we'll make that little wreath.
Let us know if you're crafting along. We've got Jan on the socials, as I've said. Lois joined us from Ohio. Lois Cathogus. Teresa Rogers says, hello, Ben, Sheila, Jan, and crew. Mary Beth Dawes says, hi, everyone from Minnesota. Hello. And hi also to Carolyn Laverspear. Do I say your surname correctly, Carolyn? I hope I do. Who says, good morning from Boise. I said that right. Boise, Idaho. Keep the hellos coming in. I'll show you the boards of the embellishment dies. So these are all available for you on the website. If you just search for the small embellishment dies. This one is called Mistletoe. Now, this one did actually catch me out on the launch, because what does that look like to you? Christmas tree? Ha, you'd be wrong. Ice skating. What the? Yeah. Try and catch me out, eh? Eh? It did. I was like, here we've got a lovely ice skating boot. What the? No, that's Christmas tree. Ice skating boots. And again, little bit. I'm giving away secrets now, because you all think I'm, very well versed in all these products. You think, oh, he knows it all off the top of his head. It's all on the boards. Everything I say is written on the back of the boards. I don't even have to think for myself. It is all written down here, and it makes it very easy for me to present. It's all there. These again, you can snip into as well, of course. If you just want a pair of like your normal boots, you can snip off the little laces there too. Then you've got your presents. And again, I think you can use these right throughout the year, of course. Build these up to create presents for all sorts of different occasions, all sorts of different projects as well, all sorts of different people. And then finally, you can shop individually for your baubles, or as you guys in the US call them, ornaments. Those are all of the individual sets that we have available for you. If you shop the day, you'll be able to grab those, pop those into your basket, and you'll be able to see the ones that you'll need to be able to grab. If you want to create Sheila's demo, hi to Michelle, who's just joined us as well. From North Myrtle Beach. Right, we'll get into it. Anything you want to ask over the course of the show, feel free to. If you need to stop, pause, rewind, do a backflip, whatever it might be, please feel free to ask. We may or may not be able to do the requests as they come in, but it's always good to ask. So, settle back, relax, here we go. What do we need to do first, Sheila?
Okay, so first of all, I've taken a piece of watercolour cardstock, and I'll measure it. I think it's 5.5. Yes, it is, because we're going to put it onto a 6x6 card blank. So normally, when I do a wreath with whatever, as you'll see now earlier on, if you watch the autumn show, I just kind of got the leaves and put them on. When I'm doing it on white cardstock, sometimes it can look a little bit not cold, but because you can see the white through it underneath. So I thought, right, what can we do? Well, we could put some ink on there as well with a blending brush. You could do that, but it might end up being like too thick. So what I did think of was watercolour palette. Let's use the watercolour palette.
That's good, yeah.
So, and again, I think you've got a little kind of more freedom with this. I'm actually using I forgot to put this on there as well for tools. I don't think I put a water brush on, did I? I put paint palette, but not water brush. So I'm using one of our thicker ones. As you can see, I've already had plenty green on here, but just on the tips. And just because I wanted it to be a bit kind of higgledy-piggledy, random, then that's what I did. So that's why I've used this one. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the green. Now, if you think you've got too much on, you can either add a bit more water, or because we're going on watercolour card, it's going to work anyway. We're going to be able to water it down. So what I've done is I just want to create like a circle, a nice easy circle, and I'll just do kind of a rough outline like this, just with the green that's on there. So I'm not going too mad at first. So we're just doing a rough circle, and if you want to draw around something, you can, but do you know what, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's just nice to do something like that. So I'm going to squeeze a bit more water, and I'm going to take a bit of the this one next but one to that green is like a bit more like an olivey khaki colour. So again, I'm just going to kind of blend it out a bit now. You're not going to see this, so it doesn't matter how higgledy-piggledy it is, whether your paint is thick or thin. I just thought, you know what, we just need something so that if I bring in one of the mistletoe branches, and I have cut a few already just because it takes quite a while, but we will be cutting the other bits. So you can see now, if I was to just put that on there and make like a wreath going round.
I know what you mean. It looks a bit bare.
You know what I mean? You have to do a lot of leaves and foliage to try and get it to kind of hide the white underneath. So I thought, right, okay, let's put a bit of green underneath, and it might just lift it. So again, if you want to go in again and think, oh, there's a bit of a splodge there, don't worry about it. You can do, because we're on watercolour card, we're using watercolour paints, very forgiving. So basically, I'm just doing some splodges. No technique involved, so even if you've never watercoloured before, but you've seen the watercolour palette and you bought it and you're going, oh, I don't know what to do with it. Well, this is a great way of using it, to be honest, and no skills involved. So this is what we're doing, just building up a little bit of green. Yeah. And you can see, even if you've gone on too much, if you just go back over with your water brush, it just blends it out. So it's not a major thing. And to be honest, you might end up making a kind of wreath effect that you like. You might go, do you know, I quite like the effect that's made now. I might keep that and just use that anyway, without the leaves on top. Yeah. And don't worry if you've got like extra little bits poking out, because it can be foliage. It doesn't really matter. I am going to bring it together just at the top here, but I'm not doing too much. I'm not doing it any thicker than that, I don't think. So basically, we've just got what resembles a kind of messy circle, really.
Splodgy circle.
Yeah, but do you know what? As it dries, this is the best thing about watercolour, isn't it? This bit here. Yeah. You know, when you do anything with watercolours, if you want to look like a real artist or a real painter, that's that effect, isn't it? Yeah. Where the water's just stopped and then the ink is like the paint is just dried in there. So that is my skilled bit on this one.
I love it.
And the rest of it is just an absolute mess. But again,
but there for a purpose.
Matter. Yeah. So if I bring some of the leaves in, you can always add more to it as well. If you want to add like other colours, you can. So if I start to bring these in now, you can see that straight away, even though I'm not putting them in any particular order at the minute, you'll see how it takes that starkness away from it having just plain white underneath. You can see how it kind of just looks like it's a wreath built on something. So we're going to give that a second to dry. And while that's drying, what I'm going to do is, this is where you'll take your white pen. So I've cut, I think I cut either 12 or 16 pieces. And I've used various greens. So you'll see if I put them out, the difference in the greens. I've got a couple of dark, a couple of like lighter, a couple of kind of like grass green, and then 4 of those, because in my mind, I think that mistletoe is kind of somewhere in between these two. Yeah, yeah. So I've already cut those out. If you want to ink them as well on the edges, you can do. It can be a little bit thingy, but tricky when it's got small branches like this, because you're at the risk of like tearing it. But I'm not going to ink them. I just want it to be quite clean, this. So I've got a little gap at the bottom of each branch of mistletoe that I just need to pop out there. That's the only one bit that stays in.
What is it, like a little?
So I just pop that bit out.
What are you popping out? Oh,
just,
I can see a little hole.
It's like the gap between the berries, I think. So while we're waiting for the paint to dry, so to speak, let's bring in the white pen, because this then makes the holly like come to life a bit. If I just grab this piece of black card, you'll be able to see it better if I pop it on there, because obviously we're on the white mat. And I'll put 2 next to each other and you can see the difference then. So when you've cut them out, what you'll see is you'll be able to see where there's like little blobs, which will be berries. Right, so I'm just gonna do 1 or 2. I might add an extra one here and there, but you can see straight away how that suddenly becomes mistletoe, doesn't it? So straight away that is now mistletoe. And look how realistic that is now.
Does anyone still buy mistletoe for their home at Christmas time?
Oh, I think we spoke about this, didn't we, a few weeks ago, and said, does anybody actually have mistletoe? I mean, if I can get it...
You have it?
I will. And if I do, it will be real. I kind of have artificial mistletoe, but I did always used to have it when we used to have big family gatherings years ago. When
What, to have to put into a wreath or to dangle over the front door?
No, I used to have a piece over the door.
Yeah.
Just because that was tradition, wasn't it? And it's weird because when I was young, growing up, like my grandma, she lived directly opposite us.
Yeah.
In the row of terraced houses, so we were always in and out of there. And she always used to have holly, real bunches of holly, and she used to hang it over all the pictures and all like a sideboard. She had an old sideboard, an old mirror, and she used to have holly everywhere. And she would never take it down till. And now you might be able to find this out for us. Isn't there a tradition where you keep the holly up till something like, my mum would probably know this, something like Easter time or something like that?
I don't know that.
I could be wrong.
I'll have a look.
But yeah, I think there was I think it was kind of a religious thing. My grandma was very religious, so I think it was. You would leave it up till possibly like Easter or Lent or something like that, or Whitsun or one of those. My mum would know straight away. She's probably shouting at the telly saying it's such
Keeping
a date,
holly up until Lent is a cultural practice.
Lent, that's right.
Primarily
yes.
in some parts of Ireland, believed to bring good luck and ensure a good harvest. The tradition involves keeping Christmas greenery like holly displayed in the home until Shrove Tuesday.
Shrove Tuesday, yeah.
And then burning a piece of it on the first fire after that date.
That's right.
Huh.
I do remember saying you keep it up and then you burn it.
Yeah.
So there was always like holly up in my grandma's for like, probably like the first quarter of the year, because she did go with all those traditions. She had lots of.
It's lovely, all that kind of stuff. I love that old traditions.
It kind of has some meaning to it, doesn't it? I thought that's what it was. I knew it was like either Easter or Lent or sometime like that. But yeah, she always had real holly, and I think we used to for a time. I can't remember if my nan did or not. That was my mum's mum, but I know Grandma did because Grandma was very religious. So it probably comes from that as well, doesn't it? I think. But yeah, I don't remember having mistletoe, but I do feel like my Auntie Olive and my Uncle Tom used to have mistletoe. They too lived like more or less directly opposite us.
I love that.
But that was my mum's sister, Auntie Olive, and I think they used to have like mistletoe, because I seem to remember my Uncle Tom used to say when we went in, "Come on," and he used to grab it and say, "Come on, give us a kiss." And would like give us a big hug and a kiss on the cheek under the mistletoe when we were little. And we always used to think it was a bit, a little bit cheeky kind of thing because we were little. You know what I mean? But yeah, all those memories stick with me in my mind from back in the 60s and the 70s, which is quite nice. So I think it is nice to have mistletoe. I think it's just a nice plant. I feel a nice shrub, isn't it? A nice,
it is
just nice. But I particularly love this dye. Just for that, I think for that reason, and also because I feel like this is really, really well positioned and well thought out as to where the berries would be. It's just a really nice little dye to use.
Just whilst we're watching you, we can say hi to Janelle, who's joined us, and Karen Fisher. She says, love this. I'll have time later on to make it. Pat's joined us, Pat Demarest. A little late, but a big hello to Ben, Sheila and crew. And on my lovely crafting friends from New Jersey. Tara Baldwin, hello. Jackie Koch says, just made a pot of tea. I'm settled in to watch. Trudy Bickham says hello. Rosalind says hi from Maryland. Damani Stackhouse is in. Must thank Sheila for the cup of coffee that she'd made me during the break there with milk that hadn't gone off. Yes. She's got her own secret stash of milk. The hilarious thing is I absent-mindedly yesterday, so if you didn't hear the story,
I didn't try and poison Ben.
Yeah, I made Sheila a cup of tea with milk. It was still in date, but it had floaters in it. Well, I drank my coffee and I'm still here, but I made it for Sheila, and I knew it had sort of half gone off, but rather than being a good work colleague and tipping it down the sink, I just absent-mindedly put it back in the fridge, and I heard during the last show, George, who's producing now, go like, "What is this?" And he'd pick the milk out of the fridge, and apparently it's gone green now. So.
Oh my goodness! Oh gosh! Well, oh.
Sorry about that.
George. Well, George, there is still a bit of milk in the fridge if you want a cup of tea. Yeah.
Sheila says, Sandy, does holly have a fragrance? Is there a difference between holly and mistletoe? There is a difference, isn't there? It's a completely different thing.
Yes, it's a completely different plant, isn't it? We have holly trees in our garden, and they've been there for years. But obviously, you'll know the holly because if I draw it with the pen, it has the leaves like that, doesn't it, holly?
Yeah.
So you've got the, and then you've got the, usually like, we do it traditionally with 3 berries. Whereas the mistletoe, you can see, is more kind of like that style of leaf, that kind of shape, a bit more oval. And then there'll be berries dotted about on the branches and stuff.
Holly's
like
got a very distinctive smell, has it? Just.
Do you know what? I've not noticed it smelling, but when I go home, I will actually make a note of that because we've got some in the front garden and some in the back. And I've not actually noticed, but to be honest, when I'm stood out there, if I'm cutting it back, because it does grow pretty quickly, if I'm cutting it back, I feel like it's, I've not noticed the fragrance.
Yeah, okay.
But it is, the ones in the garden at the moment are laden with berries. And that's another thing that my grandma used to say, and my nan, if the trees are full of berries, that's a sign of a bad winter.
Ah, really?
So the trees know more than us, and the trees know what's coming. Obviously, they've been there for years, and they're rooted into the ground. They know what's coming, so they flourish with berries to provide food for the birds.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so I was looking through the window the other day, and I said, "Look at the berries on the tree. It's ridiculous." But yeah, it's whether
so there's a bad winter coming, is there?
I hope so.
Snow.
Snow. I love it.
I love a bit of snow. One of the main reasons
snow.
I moved up, I mean, obviously to be here, but the other reason was to get snow every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Love
and where we
snow.
live now, we live like at the other side of Wigan, which is kind of in between like Wigan and Preston.
Yeah.
It's not really that near to Preston, but we've got like Wigan and Bolton and Preston. So there's a hill there which is known as Winter Hill.
Oh yeah.
Or Rivington. It always gets the snow on there. It's not overly high, but it has the big mast on top that we used to, it used to give us the signal for our TVs in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, you'd wiggle the aerial on your TV towards the mast. So yeah, they get snow on there. We can see that from our living room window. So I know that if there's snow on there, it's possibly coming like our way. Which is quite nice, but yes, it just depends how high up you are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we've cut this bow out, and then I'm going to cut it out again. So I want 2 of them to go on top of each other to build up. While I'm doing that, I'm going to pop that through, and if I can do that and save a little bit of time, because I need to have some tiny bows. And when I was looking through the dies, I thought, okay. We've got this tiny little bow on here. Sorry, I'm out of vision there. We've got a tiny bow there. We've got this bow, and we've got these little bows. So because of this, the style of this bow and the size of it, I opted, as you do, to go for the one that's the most fiddly.
Ha! Of course.
Which is like the top of a bow, and then you've got the little like tails.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take those on, and while the big bow's going through, that will cut those as well. Now you're going to need 3 of the little ones, so 2 of the big and 3 of the little. We'll pop that on there, and that should just fit through the mini machine, which is perfect for these dies. Absolutely perfect. Mini but mighty.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Simplicity without electricity.
Yes. So, we've got the little bow. Now, it's up to you which way you put it. On the actual picture, it's got the little bits that pop out at the bottom there. Oh, let's grab that again. There at the bottom. But I think you could do it either way, to be honest. But ideally, they are at the bottom. And then we've got these 2 tiny little pieces here, which are the little tails. So we're going to need to cut 3 of these. And this is probably just the faffy bit, really.
Yeah.
Like the faffiest bit. So let's pop that bow back on there, and then we can pop that out. Now, if you want to keep the bow as it is, like that, the pieces have not dropped out of this one. They fell out of that one, the first one. So I think what I'll probably do is just put that one on top of that so we can still see through it. On my original card, the bits didn't just drop out, and I thought, you know what, I quite like that, I'm going to leave them. But you might want to pop those onto another colour as well, and so you've got like some red coming through or something. But I'm just keeping this green and gold. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to bend this one here. Now you can attach this with glue, you can attach it with I wouldn't use your tape runners on this, just because of the size of it. It's difficult to get in there without getting glue and tape all over these bits.
Yes.
So I would just be either using a tacky glue, you could use a foam pad, you could use a foam dot, a clear dot.
Clear dot,
yeah. You could use one of those as you want to. But I'm just going to use a bit of tacky glue because it will work. And if you pop it to one side for a minute while it dries, as we've done with the mistletoe, give it all a chance to dry. We can do it all in little sections. Yeah. Like that. Okay, so, and it probably will like lift for a minute until it starts to, you know, dry. So we'll pop that just to one side there. And I think it's kind of quite nice with the double bow. So this is, this bit here now is a little bit fiddly, but I don't mind that because I like tiny, tiny dies and tiny, tiny miniatures and things like that. So what I'm going to do now is pop a little bit of glue on the tips of these. Now, another little thing you could do, which has just come to me, and I've never really thought about it. I've not done this for a while, but when you've got a foiled or a metallic piece of cardstock like that and you want to use your glue, you can always take the tiny bit off the top with like a nail file or a sanding block or a little emery board, whatever you do your nails with. So you could do that, and that will then help it like adhere to whatever you're sticking it to.
Okay.
So you can try that, but I'm just going to pop this underneath like that. I'm going to push that down on top, and again, just give that a minute to dry. Again, like I say, it takes a minute to bond, and you can use, I mean, if you've got the pokey tool, you could use the rubber end just to put a bit of pressure on there, and just give that a minute, and then we'll cut another couple out, so we need another 2, because we're going to put 3 on the wreath.
Whilst you're cutting, we can say a few more hellos. Kathy Myers has joined us. Michelle Knits For You says good morning. Rhonda says good morning. Ben, Sheila, team, crew, and all my creative, crafty friends from Oak Park, Chicago. Crafty Angie, Doreen, and Sandy says, I love learning about all the British traditions and education that you give to us Yankees. It says here.
Yankees, yeah.
Yeah. Let us know your Christmas traditions as well. Like, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I didn't know about the holly one, so I feel like I'm learning as we go along there as well, you see.
Yeah, so. It's interesting, isn't it? Traditions are, you know, really interesting. And when I was at school, you know, I hated history with a passion. Yeah. I just thought, I don't need to know any of this. And now, with hindsight, I get into my 50s, and I'm quite... You know, I'll see something online and I'll read it and I'll be like, wow, I never knew that. Yeah. And even things from like 100 years ago, like Victorian things and Victorian traditions and why things were made the way they were and how things were used. And, you know, and I know you didn't necessarily like go through that in history, but getting older, things like learning about Henry VIII, it never interested me. And then I read a book. I read the book called The Boleyn Girl. Oh, right. And I so enjoyed that book, and then it was available in a film. So I watched the film.
As in Anne Boleyn?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think this is the other Boleyn
Girl.
The
other Boleyn Girl.
Yes, the other Boleyn Girl. Yes. Yes. Scarlett Johansson and I can't remember. Yeah, but do you know, I really enjoyed it, but I did prefer the book. I think that's usually the case, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know if when you're reading it, you have your own vision of what's going on. Well, you do, don't you? And then when the film comes, you think, oh, it wasn't like that. Not in my brain, was it? But,
that's not how I directed this to look.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. And again, then it led me to like read more about Henry VIII You know, so kings and queens were not really my thing.
But I think you tend to do that as you get older anyway, because I was always, certainly with history, because it was almost, because you were at school, it was almost forced upon you, wasn't it? You had to learn it.
Yes.
Or you had to try and remember it. But as you get older, I suppose you become more curious about things and you want to look things up and find things out for yourself, don't you? So
Definitely. It was, It was, see, like I was intrigued the other day. When I drive up here and I come over the Yorkshire Dales, obviously I go through like Cumbria and then it says Yorkshire Dales and then it says County Durham. Now, normally I see the County Durham sign, but I don't read anything beyond the County Durham sign because I'm driving.
Yeah.
And they've got roadworks now. They've moved the roadworks up, so we have to go slower at that point. And so, obviously, as I was driving up, I read the sign and it said, I think it said County Durham.
Land of the Prince Bishops.
Land of the Prince Bishops. And I thought, what on earth? Who are the Prince Bishops? Or what is that?
The land of the Prince Bishops refers to County Durham, that was uniquely ruled by powerful Prince Bishops for many centuries, acting as a semi-independent state with both ecclesiastical and political sovereignty over the county.
Ah, okay.
The bishops wielded extraordinary authority, transforming the region's governance and cultural identity and creating a rich history legacy still evident today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just... and I just love it. There's also a little place just before I go onto the A66 to get here, and I've actually been there. There's a place called Brough.
Oh, Brough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've been there before to that castle. It's just the remains of a castle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's a tea room there, a little cafe and a gift shop, I think. And every night now when I go home, I just slow down at that point just to see it. And as I'm going home, and the seasons are changing, and the sun sets earlier, I get a different view every week because the sun's going down earlier and the sky is different, and it just looks so beautiful that I'm really enjoying the drive up and down every week because I just see something different each time. And I guess, it'd be interesting now to look at the history of Brough Castle because it's just a little ruin, but it's ever so sweet.
It's an amazing part of the world. It's a beautiful part of the world, isn't it, as well, up here?
Yes.
You know,
yeah,
so much
definitely.
to explore, so much to see.
Yeah, definitely. It's really lovely driving up. And I don't want to come the other way. There's two other ways I could come, which is just all motorway.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? I just really enjoy going up towards the Lake District where all the lakes are and the mountains, and you see the mountains and you see the Yorkshire Dales, and then you see so many different things, and it's just beautiful. And so I do love that.
Hi to Stephanie, who's joined us. Bernie's been in touch. Ben, I will send the video and picture of Big Mouth Billy Bass later today. I've got new batteries. We'll show that on launch party, Bernie. Brilliant. If you get to us in time, that'd be amazing. Oh, George, there's a whole conversation yesterday.
Oh, gosh, yesterday we were chatting about him for ages, weren't we?
And Bernie came to our rescue. We were like, somebody must have a Big Mouth Billy Bass.
Yeah.
Now she's going to send pictures and video.
You can still get them, can't you? You can still get them, but they're quite
about
expensive
40 quid,
now.
weren't they, I think we said?
They're quite expensive now.
They're a tenner back in my day.
Yeah, definitely expensive.
Hi, Tracy. Hi, Rhonda and Catherine Wood. She says, afternoon to Ben, and Sheila was playing with these yesterday. Love them. Tara says, I absolutely adore those mistletoe dies. Lynette Price says, I lived near Brough in the Eden Valley. It is a beautiful part of the country.
Oh, it is, you know, it is. It's just, the Eden Valley is beautiful. I spent like many little holidays there in the caravan, you know, and it's just so glorious. And there's some lovely little villages and little towns, and I love coming through Kirby Stephen as well.
Kirby Stephen, yeah.
Some incredible views. And there's been a house for sale on the right hand side, just where you get on the train to, like, you know, settle to Carlisle kind of thing. And there's been this house, and it's been up for sale for like, I don't know how long, but since I've been coming up here, since like June, like mid-June, and it just didn't sell. And I thought there was no sign. I thought it's just for sale every time I come past. Why would someone not want to live there?
Yeah.
Because the view at both the front and the back is just incredible.
Maybe it's the cost of the house because of the view.
Yeah, and I think when I drove past yesterday, it actually says sold on it. So it was probably sold anyway, and it was just going through all the process.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, why is no one buying that? He's in the most beautiful place. But yeah, it has sold now, so someone will be moving into it quite soon, I guess, won't they? And enjoying those views both at the front and the back.
That's it.
Right, I just need to cut a little bit more off there because I've done one side and not the other. It's because I'm too busy chatting, isn't it?
And now we're having a nice little chit chat, aren't we?
We're having a right historical lesson as well as crafting, aren't we?
Back in time with Ben and Sheila on Crafters TV.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the show we came up with yesterday? Oh yeah, rock and roll crafting, wasn't it? That was the other one.
Rock and roll crafting, that's what we thought of yesterday.
Yeah,
rock and roll.
Sheila does a saxophone solo after each demo.
Yeah. Yeah, of course it would, yeah.
George has just gone, that would be so good. And yeah, Sheila sounds less than impressed.
I can't bring a saxophone as well.
No, especially not in that mini.
Not in that emergency mini.
Sheila still plays, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've not done a gig for a while. You know, obviously, when we all went through COVID, a lot of bands kind of stopped doing things then because the last thing you could do, that was probably one of the last things that got back into, you know, like their regular thing, which was playing in a band and blowing an instrument. You know, especially if you've got an instrument that's going in your mouth, you know, it's inevitable that you're going to get droplets and you know, and stuff. So it was you know, a bit of a bad time really for a lot of my musician friends. But since then, things didn't get back quite to normal how they were. So a lot of bands just like folded and finished, you know. But they're...
George wants to see pictures of you in the band now, he's saying. Or videos.
Oh yeah, well I've got plenty of those. It's actually the, next year, it's the 50th anniversary of the band. It started in 1976 and I joined in 1981.
Got to be a tour then, surely.
Well, no, because the band is still going, but obviously we were youngsters at that point. When I joined in 1981, I was only 15. You know, and then obviously we went through like, I just need to move that a little bit before it just grabs. We did lots of things with the band, you know. So I don't. It is the Wigan Youth Jazz Orchestra. So we were in there from being youths. And then obviously there was no like feeder band with any younger players coming in. So we just continued. And a lot of us carried on in that band till we were in our 30s.
Oh, wow.
And people kept saying, oh, these are not youths. But at the same time, it was a great band because we'd all got the experience. And it was, you know, it was one of the, at the time in the late 80s, early 90s, there were lots of jazz orchestras around. But I don't know if you would actually find... You would find some if you went onto my regular Facebook page, I think. So just my own Facebook page, you would probably find some photos on there. But yeah, 50th anniversary next year. So I had an email from one of the girls that kind of was in the band, but is now like head of the junior orchestra, which is now like the feeder band. And they're kind of getting a big evening together where we can go, and so it's sometime in April next year, and I've put it in my diary because I thought, well, I have to be there because I was one of the original members, you know, or the earlier members.
Have to get him in here for a wake-up call show.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, imagine that, trying to get band. I mean, you would get him in here, but it would put the windows through probably with the volume.
How many in the band?
I'm about 16.
Is it 16?
Yes, it's a big band.
Ah.
So it's like 5 saxes, 4 trombones, 4 trumpets, drums, keyboard,
Is
bass.
that the number for a big band then?
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I never knew that.
Usually 16.
16.
It's usually 16 piece, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a nice thing to be part of, you know.
I always say, like, if you can be part of like a group, whether it's sport or craft or, you know, music, I think you'll always have like great memories, and you'll always make great mates as well.
Oh yeah, we're friends for life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, one of my good friends, he plays trumpet in the band on Strictly.
Oh really?
Yeah, with
the great Dave Arch.
The great Dave Arch, yeah. Yeah, Craig, my friend on trumpet, he plays in there, and then we've got a couple of other trumpet friends who've played in like the West End shows. They've all moved down there and have family down there now and do the West End shows. And then one of the lads that played piano, he actually went on to become Kylie's musical director.
No way.
Yeah.
What, and still now?
Sorry?
Still now?
No, I think he did a bit with Take That. He did, and then he did X Factor.
Yeah.
And then he did as a musical director. And then he did Kylie.
Yeah.
And then he's currently on The Voice. So he does a lot of, he's the musical director on The Voice at the minute. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah. So and then all that has come from like the jazz orchestra, you know, from just being privileged and being able to play with. I mean, we've had so many American jazz musicians that have come over and played with us. Some who are no longer around, you know, but lots of people, and even you remember Parkinson, the show Parkinson.
Yeah.
Well, the musical director on there, he came and played with us.
No way.
Yeah, and he directed us a couple of times on a few concerts. So yeah, we've done a lot of stuff, radio work and made CDs and albums and all kinds of stuff. Entered competitions, won competitions, been on Blue Peter, done record breakers, all that stuff. Been very and world travel. So we've been very, very lucky. And it's a good thing to be part of because you know, you have good discipline.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, you make lifelong friends and you have experience of different cultures and you know, just how things are the world over, and we've you know, and we've made great friends, and it was a big part of my life and will remain with me for as long as I'm around, you know.
That's why I wish I'd just sort of stuck with one instrument when I was younger, because I probably told you before, like my mum made me learn a lot of different instruments when I was younger, and I think by the time I was 15, 16, I was so fed up with trying to do all school work and then all the sports I did and all the music. I just gradually just stopped playing as much, and I really kind of wish that I'd carried on. Yeah, you know, just with one of them, piano particularly. That's my biggest thing. I wish I'd carried on playing the piano because, you know, I did actually get quite good at that, but I haven't played for years now.
No.
It must be 10 years, I would say, since I played.
Well, I think a lot of people do that, don't they? A lot of people, they start off on an instrument, they can't quite decide, but then other things happen, like there's more fun things to do when you're a child than practice stuff. You know, and you don't always want to be playing out, you want to go to like youth clubs, you want to do different things, like a lot of kids do sport, don't they? And so yeah, and you have to decide, you can't do them all. You see all these parents who are run ragged, dropping the kids at photography club, rugby, you know, swimming, dancing, youth club, and it just gets like ridiculous, doesn't it? And you have to just go, okay, well, we can't do 10 things every week, we have to just pick. And it's only when you get into later life, I think, you go, I wish I'd carried on with piano. Yeah. You know, but then that's just what happens, isn't it? It's never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah, that's it. I think one day, when we get a bigger house, I think I might invest and buy an upright piano and start up again.
Yeah, why
But it wouldn't
not?
take that long, I don't think, to get it all going.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think it. When you're as probably as good as you, I don't know how good you are, Ben. I'm guessing you're very good on with your talent that you've got. I'm guessing you're very good at all that music and stuff and the singing and everything that you do. So I would guess you'd just pick it straight up again.
Yeah.
You know, I really think you would.
Nice thing to have in later life in retirement, isn't it, I suppose?
Definitely.
Maybe take a few lessons just to kind of dust off the cobwebs.
Refresher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got me grade 8 on piano and violin.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. And I did a classical guitar I did for a bit. I think I got about grade 3 on that. I had singing lessons.
Yeah.
I did a bit of drumming for a while. Drumming in the band. It wasn't particularly good there, but as I always say to you, I play. What's that? Well, again, the ukulele. I wouldn't say like I play the ukulele a little bit, but I would need like a sheet of. If you gave me like a tab, I'd be able to play it. You know, that kind of thing. But I couldn't go in there just now and then bash out a song on the ukulele. I'd need the music in front of me to do it. But yeah, as I always say, I do a lot of things to a very average standard.
I'm sure.
But it's not. It's nice. It's exciting for stuff like that. As I say, to do in later life, I suppose, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, definitely. When if you get to a point where you retire, or then you get grandchildren, and then you think, you know what, I'd really like to, get the piano out again, or the organ, and let the have a sing song and stuff like that at Christmas time. So yeah, it's nice to do stuff like that, isn't it? So we've got our bows on now.
Oh, that's brilliant.
We've got the bow at the top, the double bow at the top, and we've got the 3 little bows on here. And obviously I've done the mistletoe, I've mixed it a bit, so the darker greens are underneath. But it does look quite full, and I haven't glued everything down. So I've kind of glued along a couple of the leaves and along some of the stems, just so it will hold. But I think it's nice to have that like kind of lifted edge on some of the foliage. So now with the baubles, you've got a choice on the original one, and I just remembered that I haven't actually done the ink around the edge here because I was too busy gabbing, wasn't I?
Got a right old natter, haven't we?
I was having a right old chin wag. So let's see, with the baubles, you can probably, I would guess, you can probably use all 3, like get one of each. No, one of each, either or. So you see in the original one, I've done that one, but you can do that one as well. I'm going to see if the other will fit too, just so that you know that they would all might fit. I'm guessing they will. I think we've done the circle big enough to be able to fit those in quite compactly. Is that a word? Compactly?
Compactly, yes.
Compactly, well, it is now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I quite like the fact that all 3 will fit in there.
Yeah.
It's quite nice. The other thing you can do, of course, originally, I was going to use this one, this bow, because I thought it'd be nice to have that hanging down. So you could have that hanging down and have nothing inside. To me, that one, I always feel like that one should possibly go at the bottom. So if you imagine, let's turn it the other way, just to give you a couple of other options, other ideas. If you imagine you had it that way, but moved up a bit, you could have like that bow at the bottom with the tails hanging at the bottom.
Cute. Yeah.
So there's lots of ways of doing it. You could do that as well and have it that way. But I quite like that one because it gives us space in the middle to put a bauble. So we'll put a bauble on there now. So I'm wondering if we do the same one or if we do another one. What do you think? We don't normally change it on a craft along.
Maybe do another one though, just to see what it looks like.
Do you think we should do the little one?
Yeah.
And we'll have it hanging lower, and we'll do it on like a little chain using these little tiny bits of the it's like a decoration, isn't it? So we can use those and hang it down. Yeah. So let's cut it from gold, and we can do those at the same time. Get my scissors and just chop up there. And then I mustn't forget to put those back in place after on the mat.
Say hi to Carol, who's joined us. Hi everyone, I'm late but I'm here. Hey to Sheila, Ben, our superstar. Trudy says, I love where the conversations take us. We go all round the houses here, don't we?
We've done a bit of everything, I think, haven't we?
I know we have today.
It is nice though, isn't it? Because usually when we're on a show, we're selling a lot of things.
Yeah.
So on a craft along and on a something like this, where it's not a selling show as such. It's nice to be able to we're almost like getting to know each other, aren't we?
Getting to know you. Getting
to
know more.
That's right.
Rhonda says, Ben, you still can, you're never too old. And Mallory says, good morning, everyone. I agree about the music. I played piano. You have to let us know in the comments if you played a musical instrument or if you still do.
Yes.
I would imagine there's a lot of people who craft who play musical instruments.
Oh, yes.
I kind of feel like that creative gene or whatever it is.
Yeah, I feel that
there.
As well.
Yeah.
I think that's where probably the creative thing for me comes from, because my dad was very creative. My dad played trombone. He used to like write and arrange music as well.
Did he?
Yes, and then he was pretty good at like drawing and so I think that kind of side of my dad has come through me as well, which is always quite nice to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's done through your blood and through your genes. Sometimes it can be forced, can't it? And it doesn't always work because you're expected to do that because it happened in your family before.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case, is it? It's not always the case, but hey ho. Right, so what I think we'll do on this bauble, we'll do a green, I think because we did the green snowflake on this one, because we're going to be using all these, we've got all these die sets out anyway. Let's cut the star from green, I think. And we should just have enough time to get this finished. So I'm just going to cut that from a nice dark green.
Carol, just to say, this die set is the Christmas embellishment die. So obviously the one that Sheila's using is the mistletoe. So if you search for the Christmas embellishment dies on the website, you'll be able to buy those individually. So actually, you just need the mistletoe, and then you need your baubles from that set as well, which are those ones there.
Yeah, I really like these because I think they're like a bit like the traditional in one sense, in that these are the things that we've had up for Christmas, the decorations and stuff that we've had for years. But they've got a little bit of quirkiness about them. So like with the star, you'll see when I stick the star on now, the star is not like symmetrical. It's all a bit kind of, you know, some of the prongs are short, some are long, some are, it's not like totally even. And I like that. I think it makes it look a little bit unusual. It makes it look really nice.
Yeah.
And I that's kind of one of the things I like about these little sets as well. And sometimes when you get them, you think, oh gosh, what, they've not got papers with them. They've not got you know, card blanks with them. They've not got stamps with them. What am I going to do with them? But then maybe a few weeks down the line, you go, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to get them out and play with them and make some nice little cards. And that's what you do. You know, you buy them straight away. You don't do anything with them, and then you come back to them 3 weeks later and go, you know, oh, I'm going to use that now. So that's kind of why I like these. I think it's just you can come back to them.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite nice, and I love the fact that the bauble has got the ring on the top.
Yeah.
So and it's a proper nice size ring, so you can actually. I'm just going to hold that down for a second, because then what we'll do with these little gold bits that we cut out here. We'll use those as like the chain pieces that hold it down there from the top. So I'm just going to do a couple of little blobs of glue on there, because obviously you can't really attach these any other way, just because of the size of them. So let's use the. I'm going to use the little pickup tool because it was next to me from earlier. So I think I'm just going to use that to pop that little piece on there. So this will create our little chain. It's not meant to be a chain. This is meant to be decoration on the bauble. But I feel like it will work perfectly to create like a little chain like that will hold the bauble in place. And because it's gold as well, it makes it look a little bit more realistic. Now I did cut 4 pieces, and obviously, is that another one? No, that's a big one. Oh, there's another one. So I might need to cut a 4th one, although I might not. Yeah, I think I might do. I'll just move that up a little bit. And we'll do a 4th one, because that way then I think it'll look better. I can move that one up. There's a big enough gap there to get another one in, and to actually link it to that little ring on there. So let's do that. So I just cut another one of those from the gold, and we can just we'll do it from that piece there. Just
whilst we're watching you, got a few a few musicians. Rhonda says, I used to play the organ. Ooh. I wouldn't even know what to do with it now. Lol. B says, I played soprano and alto sax 8 years, but not well, she says.
Oh, fabulous.
Karen says, I played clarinet in grade school. And Janelle says, I play flute and clarinet. I also taught myself guitar and a little bit of piano. I was also part of a handbell choir growing up. I could pick up just about any instrument and figure out how to play something, even if it was just Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah, amazing. I think that's definitely a blood or genetic skill, isn't it? I think that
I used to play in the handbell. You ever done handbells? I used to play in a handbell.
No, I haven't done handbells.
Group at school. So much fun.
I do have like a basket of rhythm instruments. So I have like a tambourine, and I have maracas, and I have a triangle, and I have like is it a guiro and a guiro, and I have a vibro slap. Yeah. Remember those from the 70s?
Vibro slap.
Yeah, vibro slap is you hit it, it's like a ball on a strange piece of metal, and it's on a wooden block. And when you hit it, it hits the thing and it goes like, it vibrates, it goes like, wow, 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 wow.
I don't know that. You'd have to bring that in.
Really? Well, it doesn't make quite that noise. It actually does like more like a like that. So if you listen to any disco music or any kind of music like that,
vibro slap.
Saturday Night Fever, you'll hear it. Yeah.
Vibro.
Yeah, it's great. And every so often I just go in and pick it up and just give it a slap.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in, it was in Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
And it was on, I'm just trying to think which tune it was on. I can hear it in my head. It was one of the instrumental tunes from Saturday Night Fever, and I do have the CD of it. One of my all-time favourite films.
Apparently, it features in Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh yeah, it probably does. Yeah.
Hawaii
yeah.
5-0.
Yeah.
All Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix. I'll be listening out for that now then.
Yeah.
The Vibra Slap.
It's amazing. I'll bring it in next time I come on.
Yeah. There you go. Bit of Vibra Slap in between each demo.
Yeah. So we've just got time to pop 1 or 2 little green gems on here using our lovely gem box. Oh, it doesn't want to grab. I've got it. Got a couple there. And then we'll just have enough time to do that. And I'm not putting a sentiment on. It's obvious what it's for, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's for Christmas.
Exactly.
Got the little wreath. And that's come from 4 of the sets out of 6, so it's not so bad. We managed to, couldn't use all 6. And obviously once these are properly dried, you can lift these little bows up, but give those gems a chance to dry. And then if you wanted to as well, you can always pop a few little gems in random places. I'll put 1 in each corner. And then you put that onto your card blank. But I don't need to put it onto the card blank because you can see how we've done it. If you do it as a topper like that, you've got the choice then to go, right, should I put it on a 6x6 card? Should I put it on a 7x7 with some paper? Should I put it on an 8x8? So if I put them both together, you'll be able to see the variation as well, just with the different bauble and the different chain. And I think it's quite nice. It's simple, it's easy, and you've got to take your time with it, which is good because we very often rush with our craft. So I think it's nice to go slow and create something a little bit different.
What a fantastic project. And of course, if you want to buy the dies that Sheila used, shop our website. All of those are in stock. It's the Christmas embellishment dies that you need to go for, the mistletoe and the ornaments. Thank you for the comments coming through as well. Yeah. Carol says, I played the trumpet, but also wanted to play sax and cello. I said to you before, I always wanted to learn the saxophone because I just wanted to play the Pink Panther theme.
Yes.
It's the only reason.
Yeah.
I played the accordion, says Bernie, and Amanda says, like most kids of my generation, I learned to play the recorder. Everyone learned recorder, didn't they, at primary school?
Yes.
But I went on to play the trumpet and piano. Both my dad and uncle played brass too. My kids played bass and drums.
Fabulous. It goes on down the line, doesn't it? I'm only sorry that I didn't have any children that could have carried on the gene. Unfortunately, I couldn't have any, so it didn't, it meant that the gene stopped. Although I've got sisters, and I think my sister's children on both their children have got musical interests. Yeah. So hopefully it's gone through their children.
Love that show. Brilliant project. Love the chat. Thank you for joining in on the conversation. We will be back with you at 5 this evening, live at 5 for launch party, where we have got the official launch of those brand new 6x6 pearl card and envelopes, plus Thorn and Bloom, what we've got less, and the intricate fall dies too. Until then, bye for now.